Hey guys, Sleepy here. Welcome to my 2,000 subscriber contest. First off, I want to thank you guys so much for your continued support for my channel, all the love you guys have shown my channel and my videos over the past 12 years that I've been actively posting videos here on YouTube. Now, I actually created my channel back in 2010, and I did it as just a way for me to stay subscribed to channels that I found interesting in the videos that I wanted to watch so that I didn't miss them. And the YouTube gaming community was very small. It was really different back in 2010, but it was a very interesting time. You know, it was just your average Joe putting up videos, really terrible quality. You know, there wasn't the high definition today. There wasn't people doing this for a living. You know, it was just your average regular person making videos, just sharing stuff they were passionate about. And I started discovering the various gaming videos, like pickup videos was really cool at the time. You know, people were sharing the stuff they were finding out game hunting, because back in 2010, you know, there wasn't a huge demand for finding video games out at thrift stores and yard sales and game stores and stuff. You know, most people were really into the modern games at the time, and they weren't really into picking up the older games. So it was really cool finding people who were interested in the same things like I was. And I remember like channels like Vinny Black Lodge, you know, and him going out to Goodwills and stuff. And I remember there was like this guy Madaka, I think it was like 350, Lost Gamer 8519. You know, there was just so many of these great channels that were just sharing about the things they were doing, and it was the same kind of stuff I was doing, you know, going out to your Goodwills and random thrift stores and picking up games here and there and just reminiscing and remembering stuff from the past, like, oh yeah, I remember playing that old game, man, it's been years. Oh, it's cool to see someone else is interested in this old stuff, because at that time, you know, it wasn't popular like today where everyone and their brothers out here game hunting and into retro gaming. You know, at that time there was a lot of people that didn't play the old games, and that's why you could get them for so cheap. But it was just really interesting to join the gaming community at the time. It was so different than it is today. There was no professional videos out there. People weren't doing YouTube for a living. You weren't having the best production quality. You know, it just was a really fun time. Just the average guy, girl, random phone, camera, whatever, just filming and talking about the games that they love and stuff they're finding. And it just was a really fun time on YouTube and in the gaming community. And I've met a lot of wonderful people here over the years. I don't really want to, I want to thank everybody, but, you know, I can't mention every single person's name. I don't want anyone to feel bad if I don't mention your channel or whatever, but there's been just so many of you that have become really good friends with me, like my buddy Dean from Escape to Gaming, Joel from Cats Games Whatever, Let's Collect Video Games, Nick from Nick T. Wolf, Miguel, and just so many others. Lost Gamer 8519, we were friends here for quite a while, but he's actually disappeared from YouTube, so I don't know if he even gets on YouTube anymore. But I've just met a lot of great people over the years, made some great friendships, did lots of trading with people, and I gave out gifts to people. I've received gifts myself, and so I always love to give back to the community whenever I can, when I have my various contests. And the last time I had a subscriber contest was many years ago when I hit 1,000 subscribers. Well, just this past Tuesday last week, I actually hit 2,000 subscribers, and I didn't even realize it did until YouTube had sent me a message saying congratulations on reaching 2,000 subscribers. And I'm like, well, you know what? It's a perfect time for me to hold a contest, because I haven't had a contest in quite a while, and I want to be able to give back to you guys. So I wrote down the details of the contest for myself so I don't freaking forget. But the grand prize winner, I'm going to have two winners, is this person can choose 5 games, which I have a big stack of games. I've got Game Gear game, Genesis, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, original Xbox and Xbox 360 titles. The winner can choose 5 titles of their choice, and I will mail them to the winner. If they don't see any games they don't really want, they could just take the gift card prize, which is $30, and I'll just PayPal you the money as a friends and family. And the second place person will be able to choose 3 games, and if you don't see any games you really like, you can always take the gift card for $20, and again, it'll be PayPal, and I'll send it as friends and family so that you don't have any money taken out of it. You can get the full amount, and then you can use that money to buy a game or something that you would like. I just picked some random games from my box of doubles and games that I've been purging for my collection. No sports titles or any junk titles. I tried to just pick games that I personally enjoyed playing and ones that I think you guys might enjoy having added to your collection. So maybe you might see some games that you don't have, and you don't have to pick only like, oh, I'm only going to get PlayStation 2. You can mix it up. If you want a 360, an Xbox, PS3, PS4, PS2 game, you can choose any of these 5 you guys want. Now, the first place winner gets the choice first of the games. They get first pick. They pick their 5 games, and then the second place person will be able to pick the 3 games after that. I will have a list in the description of the games that I have available. I will also show them to you guys in this video, and then I will also have a post of it on my Facebook page and Instagram. So there's a couple different ways for you guys to enter the contest. First off, just leave a comment here saying you want to enter the contest. That'll get you 1 entry. If you guys go to my post about my 2,000 subscriber contest on Facebook, leave a comment there saying you want to enter, you'll get another entry. You can get a 3rd entry if you go onto my Instagram and leave a message there saying you want to enter. That's a 3rd entry. And if you want to earn 5 entries, if you film a video response and share with me what one of your favorite games is, and just tell me about it and why you think I would enjoy playing it, or if I should check it out, just something like that about that's your favorite game that you would like to share, as I would love to hear, as I'm always looking for recommendations and new games to play. So if you do all 4 of those, you comment on YouTube, leave a comment on Facebook, comment on Instagram, and do a video response, you'll earn 8 entries into this contest. So a great way for you to get extra entries in there. But you can always just do 1. You don't have to ever do all. You don't have to film a video response if you don't want to. But I do appreciate anybody who films a video response. If you do film one, please let me know about it, and I will post a link to your video response as a comment so people can check it out. Sometimes when people post links to their videos as a comment, YouTube, and it's glory likes to delete comments like that for some stupid reason. I don't know why. It's irritating. But they can't delete my own comment if I post a link to your video. So if you do film a video response, just let me know about it, and I will post the link to your video response so other people can check it out. Now, I'm going to hold the contest from today, which is October 10th, Tuesday, and it's going to run all the way until midnight on Friday, November 10th. And then the next week after that, we'll actually have the contest drawing for you guys. So let's get started here, and I'll show you guys the different games you can choose from. Like I said, the first place winner can choose 5 of these games. Second place can get 3 games. And you can pick any 5 you want. It's your choice. So I do have 1 game for Game Gear, which I don't have this is literally the only Game Gear game I have, but I do have a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog for Game Gear, so you guys could choose that. I got 2 Sega Genesis games, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. These are both our personal favorites of the Sega Genesis. I don't think a Genesis collection is complete without having both of these games in your collection. So you guys could choose one of these or both of these Genesis games. I only have a very small select PlayStation 1 games, and because most of them are just junky sports games that I'm getting rid of, so I didn't want to put those in this because I don't want you guys to have to take any garbage thing. But here's one, an Allied General game, which is a pretty cool little military strategy game. I had a lot of fun with this one back in the day. So we've got that. Next up, we got Frogger, which this is a really cool game. I first played this on the PC, but when I saw they had a PlayStation 1 version, I had to get it, and I had a lot of fun with it because it takes the classic Frogger, puts it in 3D, but then it adds all kinds of other mazes and puzzles. You don't just go across streets and stuff. This is another game I really loved. Next up, we have Army Men 3D, Real Combat, Plastic Men. I loved the Army Men games. It was just really cool because I loved playing with Army Men as a kid, and this series is really amazing. There's actually 10 Army Men games on the PlayStation 1, and this one here is one of my personal favorites. It's just really cool. You get to play as the Green Army, and you fight against the Tan Army as a army man, and they're made of plastic and they melt each other, but it's a, you know, a third person little military game. Really cool game though, really awesome. And then I also have the original Driver the Wheelman. This was an awesome game. It's infamous for how difficult that initial tutorial thing was in the garage, but it was a really great game. I loved Driver. So there's your guys' choice, you know, for PlayStation 1 games. Now we'll move on to some PlayStation 2 titles. First up, I have Star Trek Encounters, which is a really cool Star Trek game, which you can play from all 5 eras. So you have the original Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, and Star Trek Enterprise. Now this one's not as good as the Star Trek, I think it's called Legacy. It was like on 360, but it still was a fun game. If you're a fan of Star Trek, I definitely would recommend this one. Next up, we have Dynasty Warriors 6 for PlayStation 2, which I'm a huge fan of Dynasty Warriors games. So I have that one there available. Next up, we have Dead to Rights for PlayStation 2. I love this game. It was really awesome. Great story. Definitely one that I loved. Personal favorite. It's also on the original Xbox. I have Dead to Rights 2, so the sequel to that. Really good games. Really love the Dead to Rights games. They're really awesome. Next up is Soldier of Fortune Gold Edition with new multiplayer map. So this is a really cool console version of the PC release. Really awesome game. I played through this last year. I didn't beat it, but I got quite far in it. Really violent and bloody. It's just an amazing first-person shooter. If you've never played it before, highly recommend it. Awesome game on PlayStation 2. Next up, I have the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. Now this was actually released before the Peter Jackson movies were released, so this actually is based off of the novel and not the movie, so the characters will not look like you see in the movies, but it still was a pretty fun game. So you guys have that choice of that one. Next up, we have Fantastic Four for PlayStation 2. It was also released on 360. I had a lot of fun with this game. Kind of plays like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, but I've always loved the superhero games, and I had a lot of fun with Fantastic Four. I did beat this one on PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360. Really good game. Next up here, this is a classic for PlayStation 2, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. What a fantastic game this was. I remember my brother and I just were absolutely blown away when we played through this game, especially after we played the original Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1. Fantastic game. Next up, Medal of Honor Frontline, which is a really cool first-person shooter. I love the Medal of Honor games, and this one was one of my favorites on PlayStation 2. Fantastic game. Next up, we have Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. This is the PlayStation 2 version. Now, I never played it on PlayStation 2, but I did play it on Xbox 360 and absolutely loved it. I would like to check out the PS2 version at some point, so this one was actually a double. I had 2 of these, so you guys have a choice. You guys could get that one. And then finally, the final PlayStation 2 game is 50 Cent Bulletproof. So if you guys love 50 Cent and you love his music and stuff, it was a pretty interesting game. I had a lot of fun. It's been years since I've played this one, but I did enjoy it at the time, and it is packed full of all kinds of 50 Cent music and has an interesting story and game. It's not the best game in the world, but it was pretty fun. So you guys have that one. Now we'll move on to original Xbox. First up, I have a copy of Call of Duty Finest Hour, which this was an awesome game. I loved Call of Duty, and this was one of my first introductions to the series. Really awesome game. Love that one. Next up, we have Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones. Love the Prince of Persia games. This one was really awesome. Great game on the original Xbox. Definitely one I would recommend playing. Next up, we have a racing game here called Juiced, which this is really cool. It says build your car, build your crew, and put it all on the line. It says over 7.5 trillion car customization possibilities and beat your rivals and stuff. You used to be able to go online. It's got over 50 cars and stuff, but this was a really fun racing game. It's been years since I played it, but I had a lot of fun with it. Next up, man, I put a lot of hours into this game on Xbox Live, and that was Star Wars Battlefront 2. I loved the Star Wars Battlefront games. I used to play the skirmish alone, but then I loved being able to go online with this one. I put in just tons of hours. So did my brother and I. We played this a lot. Love this game. My favorite in the Star Wars Battlefront games is number 2 here. Very good game. Next up, here's the game that got me to love the original Xbox, and that is the original Halo Combat Evolved. This really defined what a first-person shooter could be like on consoles, because before then, the control scheme wasn't the greatest, and the games weren't the greatest, but this is really what put first-person shooters on the map, and this is what made people want to have an original Xbox. Halo. Loved this game. So awesome. Beat it so many times. Fantastic classic. Next up here, we have an only on Xbox title, and that was Ninja Gaiden. Man, this game was awesome, but very, very difficult. Really good game, though. I definitely recommend this one. And the last original Xbox game is the original Fable, which this was a really cool action RPG where you can do all kinds of different crude things. You can make your character burp, you can make them fart and stuff, and dance, and you can be good or evil depending on your actions and stuff. It was a really ambitious title, and one that I had a lot of fun with. Definitely recommend that one as well. Now we'll move on to some Xbox 360 titles. First up is a copy of Assassin's Creed 2, which I had beat this game. I loved the first Assassin's Creed, and I beat the second Assassin's Creed game. Fantastic game. Really loved the story, the combat, everything in this was great. Next up is a copy of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which this is the one I'm actually still need to go back and finish beating. It's the one I stopped playing in the Assassin's Creed series. I'm very close to beating it. I need to go back and complete it, but this one was really fun. It's a continuation of Assassin's Creed 2, and then there is a third one. I think it's Revelations. That all 3 of those are linked together. Really good game. Also, I have here a copy of Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which I know everybody's played Skyrim probably by now, but I absolutely love this on the Xbox 360. It's never did finish beating it, but I got a lot of hours in it. I love these Elder Scroll games, and Skyrim was really awesome, especially fighting the dragons and stuff. Next up, there's a copy of BioShock. This is a limited edition. It actually came in a big box with a Big Daddy figure, but I don't have that part. But you do get a bonus soundtrack CD with the games, and I loved BioShock. I beat all 3 of them, and this one was one of the best ones of the series. Highly recommend that one. Next up, we have Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. Has a complete collection, the game, all 4 DLC, add-on packs, and a Fallout Pandora map. Just really cool. Unfortunately, I am missing the map for it, but it does have the manual. It has the main game and then the DLC there. Really good collection, especially now since the Microsoft's 360 Marketplace is going to shut down. This DLC disc here will keep that DLC preserved forever, so you guys can get the full original Borderlands experience on 360. Fantastic game. Next up, I have Mafia 2, but this is the Platinum Hits version, which comes with 3 additional story packs, which is really cool, and it's also on a bonus disc there, and it also comes complete with the manual. Unfortunately, it is missing, I think it came with a map, but I don't have the map for this copy. But this was a really good game. I loved Mafia 2, and this has the DLC for you. And again, once that content's gone forever, there'll be no way to get it back. But this copy comes with the disc, and it's only the Platinum Hits version that came with the extra content. The regular copies of Mafia 2 are just the plain base game, so this is the best version to get of that. Highly recommend this one. Next up, I have Ridge Racer Unbounded, another 360 title. I picked this up at Family Video before they closed down years ago. Really good racing game, and that one was also complete as well. Love Ridge Racer series. Sad that we don't have any more, but this was a good one in that. Definitely recommend that. And the final 360 game, as this was one that I remember my brother and I actually got a week before it was supposed to be launched. We used to go to a mom and pop game store, and this guy owned it, and it was really cool. And he used to break street date for us for games, and this was one of them he did, and that was L.A. Noire. Really cool game where you get to investigate as a police officer, a detective, and it was actually on 3 discs too. That's how big the game was. Came with the manual. Rockstar Games, back when they made quality games. Highly recommend this one. Alright, now we'll go on to some PlayStation 3 games. This one here is Killzone 3. Love the Killzone series. I had a lot of fun with Killzone 3. The Last of Us. This was an amazing game. I beat this a couple different times. I do have it on PlayStation 4. I have not played the PlayStation 4 version yet, but I would like to eventually play that one. A lot of fun with it. My son actually just beat this on the PS4 this year, and he really loved it, so I have that one. Lord of the Rings Conquest, which this is kind of like Star Wars Battlefront, but set in the Lord of the Rings universe. And somebody had actually recently mentioned this in one of my weekly gaming playlist videos, and I happened to find this one to give out to you guys. So definitely recommend this one. Was really fun. Have the original BioShock with slipcover for PlayStation 1. Fantastic game. Absolutely loved it. And the final PlayStation 3 game was a copy of BioShock 2, so the sequel to BioShock 1 for PlayStation 3, also complete with the manual. Fantastic game. And now the last stack here are some PlayStation 4 games. These are just doubles of games I already have on my Xbox One or Xbox Series, so I got rid of them as I don't need to have two copies of the same game. So first up we have Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, the Ultimate Evil Edition, which has some content. It doesn't have all the content, as there is a Eternal Edition or third version of this, but you do get some of the DLC with it. This was a fantastic game. I beat it on my Xbox One. Loved it. I'm actually playing through it again because I'm using the Necromancer with the Necromancer DLC. So we've got that. Next up, PlayStation 4, I have a copy of Fallout 4, which I loved Fallout 4, but again, I have this on my Xbox One, and that's the one I played on, so I had no need for it. This had a lot of great DLC. You get the it was just like 7 or 8 big packs, just hundreds of hours. Loved it, Fallout 4. Next up is Watch Dogs, which another one I have on my Xbox One, so I don't need a PlayStation 4 copy, but I did play a little bit of it and really enjoyed it. It's a really fun game. Next up is Dragon Age Inquisition, which I already have this on my Xbox One and Xbox 360, so I don't need the PS4 version. There's a lot of DLC for this you can get as well. Really good game. You know, the third one in the Dragon Age series. Definitely recommend this one. Really good game. Next up, we have a copy of Dead Rising for PlayStation 4, which I actually have 2 of these, so I don't need a second one. Really fun game. Originally was an Xbox 360 exclusive. They eventually ported it to other consoles and stuff like the PlayStation 4 here. Really good game. You get to play as Frank Rest. You run around the mall and you get to kill zombies. It just has a really fun and silly story and crazy bosses to fight. But it was just a really fantastic game. If you've never played any of the Dead Rising games, I recommend starting with the first one here. Next up is Titan Quest, which this is a top-down isometric action RPG. This is actually an old PC game that they released a few years ago for PlayStation 4, the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox One, and then they updated graphics and re-released it for PC. Really good game. Definitely one that I enjoy. I'm actually close to beating this on Xbox One. Next up, we have Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, which I love the Uncharted series, but I have not played this fourth one yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, so there's that one. And then the final game you guys could choose from is Marvel Spider-Man, exclusive to PlayStation 4. I've been playing this on my PlayStation 4. It's been a little over a year now since I played it last, but I got really far into it, and I really loved it. And there is the Spider-Man 2 that'll be coming out, so... well, really fantastic game. So there you guys go. That's your games. Like I said, the first place winner can choose 5 of those games. The second place will get to choose 3. Now, if you see there's any games you don't want, then you can take the gift card, which first place is $30. Second place would be $20. So you can choose the games or you can choose the gift card. And again, I'll remind you guys of the ways you can enter. So you get 1 entry for YouTube. Leave a comment here saying you want to enter. If you go to my Facebook page and you leave a comment on my post there, which I'll have a picture of all the games, say you want to enter there, that's another entry. If you go to my Instagram and leave a comment there saying you want to enter, that's another entry. And then if you film a video response talking about what your favorite game is and one that you would recommend that I should play and why, then you guys will get 5 entries. If you do all of those, you'll get 8 entries into my contest. And again, the contest is going to run all the way through midnight on November 10th, which is Friday. So you guys have over 30 days to enter the contest. And then that week after, we'll have the contest drawing, get the names of the winner. And again, you know, the first place person gets to choose the games first, and then second place will get to choose the games after. And then I'll get you guys the contact info, and I'll mail out your games, or I will send you guys your gift card through PayPal. But again, thank you guys so much for your continued support of my channel over the years. I have had a lot of fun. I love interacting with you guys. I love reading your comments. I love watching your guys' videos. I love getting recommendations of games I should play. And I just love chatting and talking about video games because I'm very passionate about it. And I've had a lot of fun here on YouTube. And just one last time, thank you guys so much for helping me achieve the reaching 2,000 subscribers. And I look forward to eventually getting to 3,000 subscribers. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day. And Sleepy, we'll see you next time.